All my life, I have always been taught to be humble and appreciative. My parents raised me to be well aware of the privileges that I have and utilize them for the greater good. I also value the life that I have and the status of my life. I do not use it for my good, especially using my influences to get everything that I want that might be unfair to those people that don't have the privileges that I do. Hence, since I was young, I have always dedicated myself to charity work and devoted myself to my advocacy, which is helping people, especially youth from poverty. With that, on my 15th birthday, I told my parents that I will be starting a non governmental and non-profit organization to extend help to those people in need. I was able to manage my time and schedule both in academics and my humanitarian work. On top of that, I was also able to travel around the world to do philanthropic deeds. Both of my parents are politicians and business moguls. My father's family line is all politicians and lawyers, while my mother was influenced by my father to enter public service because she also had the heart of a philanthropist. All the while, they are busy with public engagements. I happen to live behind the limelight. I don't want to be associated with the status and influence that both my parents possessed. I often don't disclose my real name to people for privacy's sake. I don't want people to stir controversy or spread rumors concerning my work and my parents' profession. I just want to have my individuality and grow in life according to my terms. So, as soon as I graduated college, I focused my attention on my organizational work. I stayed on a remote island to help the people that rely on my foundation. I lived with them. I became one with the locals and I interacted as if I was born there. I teach them some livelihood businesses and basic literacy and provide medical and dental access. I stayed there for almost 3 years. I learned how to value life as little as it can offer, and I admit that it was very far from what I experienced growing up. But life was not that hard there because everyone was happy and content. During my stay there, I was able to meet different philanthropists as well. They would connect with me and offer a partnership. Some are politicians, doctors, and teachers that wanted to extend their help, and this is where I met the love of my life, Will. He was a fresh graduate from medical school and he had just recently passed the licensure exam at that time. He went to the island to do a medical mission. It was the first time I met him. I could still remember how passionate he was about the things he does. He checked the health of every resident and even offered free consultations and medications. They stayed on the island for 3 months. I never knew that it would also be the best 3 months of my life. He began to notice me during his first day of the post. He thought of me as one of the locals, and I was flattered when he told me that because I want to be seen as someone that is a grassroots resident of the area. But I became honest with him immediately and told him I am the daughter of two politicians and business owners. I even told him that I just want to live a simple life away from the clamor of my parents' careers. I don't want to be associated and identified with their influences and power. I just want to live a harmonious life. And I don't want to be known as a daughter of politicians because I don't want people to see me as higher than them. I just want to be normal. And I was so happy because Will respected that. And he was so shocked to know what I was doing here. Then I told him about my project, my foundation, and my advocacies. He became so invested in my work that he even decided to stay longer on the island. A year has passed and our bond grew strong. We were the best mates. We worked together as a team, and we spent most of our time doing humanitarian work until we realized that we loved each other. He courted me, and for not so long we became a couple. Everyone on the island supported us and cheered for our relationship. They even want us to get married already. We were so happy together on the island until a day came when one of Will's friends came to the island to visit him. It was Mia, his childhood best friend. She was beautiful and you could see that she is perfect. I heard that both of them are pretty close. They grew up in the same village and their parents are business partners. Ever since Mia got here, she was snobbish to me. She kept on rolling her eyes at me, and she even talked blandly to me. And Will introduced me to her as his girlfriend, but she doesn't respect it because she kept on clinging to Will and flirting with him. I get it, they're close, but doesn't she know how to respect boundaries? I try to understand her because perhaps that's how they bonded together, but one night as I was washing the dishes, I heard her talking to someone on the phone. She was standing outside the dirty kitchen because it is where the signal is good. I couldn't believe Will fell in love with a local here. I stopped washing the dishes and listened carefully to what she was saying. Yeah, she is your typical poor island girl. I mean, she has the looks, but imagines Will bringing her over to the city and letting her hang out with us. Oh my god, that is so not going to happen, please. She's a lowborn. Compared to us, she's nothing but dirt on the ground. She even laughed and mocked me even more. We all know that I'm the one for Will. We were born in the same world, but our families knew each other and they even agreed on marrying us both. I just don't get what Will doesn't like me. I'm beautiful, sexy, and smart. I have everything while that island girl has nothing. Like even money she doesn't even have. I could feel my heart breaking. I couldn't believe that there are people like this in the world. I want me and Will to end up together. I love him so much. I know Will's parents will choose me over her. My eyes almost gagged out as I was in shock. This is not real. I composed myself and tried to finish what I'm doing. After that, I went immediately to my small hut, and I was surprised that Will was not there, and some people told me that he was going to sleep in the villa that Mia rented. I didn't know what to feel that night, and I just slept through the heartache. The next day, I was at the livelihood center. I tried my best to look fine as I was talking about finances with the chieftain of the island. When Mia and Will suddenly came, Will immediately hugged and kissed me while Mia was rolling her eyes out of disgust. I was busy calculating the funds when Mia insulted me out of the blue. Oh, Jessica, don't you worry your pretty little head about finances. I know times are tough when you're poor. My eyes widened with shock and hurt. Will was mad about her sudden insult. Mia, that's enough. You don't get to insult my wife like that. She just laughed at Will's remark. Oh, Will, can't you take a joke? Besides, I'm just trying to have a little fun. I took a deep breath, struggling to contain my emotions. I stood up, determined to confront her. Mia, your idea of fun seems to involve demeaning and disrespecting me. I won't tolerate it any longer. She just smirked at me, clearly enjoying the situation. Oh, Jessica, sweetie, you should learn to loosen up. Will deserves someone who can provide for him. Someone on his level, and besides, you'll hear more of it once you enter his world pretty soon. Will slammed his hands on the table and it shocked us both. He was so angry at Mia, but my eyes flashed with determination. I walked up to Mia, staring her down. Mia, let's get one thing straight. My worth is not defined by material possessions or societal status, but I have something you will never possess: integrity and genuine love for Will. Mia's smirk faded, replaced by a hint of frustration. Well, maybe Will needs someone who can give him more than just love, someone who can show him a life of luxury and success. Will was so conflicted and stepped between the two of us. Mia, you have crossed a line. Jessica is my girlfriend and my soon to be wife, and she has given me more happiness and support than I ever thought possible. Material wealth means nothing if it's built on shallow intentions. Mia, realizing her flirtatious behavior has backfired, tried to regain control. Well, I hope you know what you're giving up, Will. But mark my words, Jessica, you won't be able to provide for him the way I could, or you're just after his money. I looked directly into Mia's eyes. Mia, it's clear to me now that your version of providing comes at the cost of love, loyalty, and respect. And I'm not after his money. I may not have your material wealth, but I have something far more valuable, a genuine connection with my boyfriend and yes, my soon to be husband. Will took my hand, offering his support and love.
And that, Mia, is what truly matters in the end. You can keep your empty promises and shallow desires. We're choosing love and happiness.
Mia, feeling defeated, storms out of our livelihood hall. Will and I embraced each other, united against negativity and manipulation. Will brought me back to the city and we eloped. We announced our marriage to our parents after our secret wedding. My parents were happy for me and I asked them to treat our marriage privately. Then Will decided to let me stay in his house with his parents. They were good to me at first, but everything changed immediately. From the moment I became part of Will's life, I sensed the disapproval that emanated from his parents, Rita and George. They looked down upon me, deeming me unworthy of their son's affections. In their eyes, I was just a girl from a humble background, lacking the sophistication and refinement they expected. They never missed an opportunity to remind me of their disdain, making it abundantly clear that they wished for Will to find someone more suitable, someone who could seamlessly blend into their high society circles, and I knew very well that it is Mia they liked for him. They would insult me every time they could. They would spit insulting words in front of my face, such as poor and tasteless. I could still remember that one night when my in laws insulted me over dinner. Oh, Jessica dear, you simply lack the refinement we expect. It's a shame you can't elevate yourself to our level. I almost spit out the food I was munching when Rita blurted it out of the blue.
Yes, Jessica, it's becoming quite clear that you're not the right match for our son. He deserves someone more suitable, someone who understands his world.
My gaze dropped, my heart heavy with their cutting words, but I remained silent as my eyes focused on the tablecloth. Oh, what's the matter, Jessica? Cat got your tongue? I suppose it's only natural for someone of your background to be speechless in the face of elegance and sophistication. I remained silent because I know my worth more than they do. And besides, everything they are saying is true. Rita just smirked at me, relishing the discomfort she perceives in me. You know, Jessica, it takes more than just fancy clothes to fit in with our social circle. You lack that certain je ne sais quoi. George chuckled, joining in on the mockery.
Indeed, my wife is right. It's a shame you can't appreciate the finer things in life. Perhaps it's time you realize your limitations.
My hands gripped the edge of the table, my knuckles turning white. I fight back tears, my voice steady and low. Rita, George, your words are hurtful, but I chose to rise above them. My worth is not defined by your opinions or material possessions. I stand here today a testament to resilience and inner strength. Rita and George exchanged a condescending glance, amused by Jessica's response. Resilience, dear? That won't get you far in the world we come from. You will always be an outsider, forever trying to fit into a place you don't belong. George leaned closer, his voice dripping with derision.
You're deluding yourself, Jessica. It's time you face the truth. You're simply not cut out for our lifestyle. Your presence only tarnishes our family's image.
My eyes welled up with tears, but I refused to let them fall. I mastered every ounce of strength within me and remained silent, my gaze fixed on the tablecloth. What breaks me the most is that my husband couldn't even defend me. Oh, look at her, George. She can't even defend herself. Pathetic. My silence became a powerful statement, a testament to my unyielding spirit. My silence speaks louder than your words. I chose not to engage in a battle that seeks to diminish me. My strength lies in knowing my worth, regardless of your approval. Rita and George exchanged uncertain glances, momentarily taken aback by my resolute silence, but then burst out a huge mocking laugh. Well, if that's how you want to play it, Jessica, but don't expect us to change our minds about you. George nodded in agreement, his expressions a mix of arrogance and disbelief. I raised my head, my eyes filled with a quiet determination. I don't seek your validation, Rita, George. I'm secure in who I am and the love I share with your son. The strength of our bond cannot be overshadowed by your prejudices. With that, I turned and walked away from the table, leaving Rita, George, and even my unbothered husband momentarily silenced, their words left hanging in the air. Their cutting remarks and subtle snubs wore on my spirit, but I refused to let their prejudice define me. I was determined to prove them wrong, to show them that love and character transcended wealth and pedigree. One fateful evening, Rita and George devised a plan to host an extravagant family dinner at an opulent restaurant, meticulously chosen to exemplify their elevated social status. It was a calculated move, one intended to further exclude me and solidify their belief that I did not belong in their refined world. The mere thought of being intentionally left out as they paraded the woman they preferred for Will fueled a blazing fire within me. But as fate would have it, I held a secret that would turn the tables in my favor, a secret that Will only knew, my true background. Unbeknownst to Rita and George, I am not just a daughter of a politician. It happens that the restaurant that they are going to have a party is owned by my family. I was the owner of the very restaurant they had chosen for their ostentatious gathering because I have shares in the profit. I heard that every socialite was there and that even Mia was invited and she was sitting next to my husband. I have eyes inside the restaurant and they're all working for me. The revelation presented an opportunity for retribution that I couldn't resist. I swiftly contacted the staff, instructing them to triple the bill for Rita, George, their all-time favorite Mia, and all their guests. Revenge would be served on a silver platter, garnished with poetic justice. It's time for me to show them what I can. This will be the first time that I will use my influence and power. As the evening unfolded, and the unsuspecting people savored their meals, a sense of unease settled over them. Their conversation grew more strained, their laughter forced, for they had no inkling of the financial reckoning awaiting them. The staff, complicit in my scheme, skillfully executed their part, ensuring that the bill they received was an extravagant testament to their arrogance. With calculated timing, I made my grand entrance, my mere presence commanding attention and piquing curiosity from every corner of the restaurant. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as I approached the table where Rita, George, and Mia sat, their expressions a cocktail of confusion and apprehension. Even my husband was so shocked to see me. George tried to stop me from going near them. Don't touch me, or else I will have you kicked out of this establishment.
Who do you think you are?
I gave him a serious and deadly look. I own this restaurant. He just laughed at me. He didn't believe what I said. I even saw Mia laughing along with him while holding my husband's arms. Will saw me and he immediately walked towards me.
Please, don't cause a scene here, love.
Really? I have to defend myself in front of them because you didn't have the spine to do it for me. He backed down, and I could sense that he was embarrassed about it. It's the truth. Are you Jessica Stewart? The daughter of the governess and Senator Stewart? The guests mumbled and started whispering to each other as they stared at me. Oh, please. She's from a remote island. She is not that girl. Just look at her. You're right. I could still remember you dancing with your father at that luxurious ball. The last time I heard you were on a remote island doing your philanthropic work. Rita and George gasped in shock. One guest even showed them a picture of me with my father and mother. At that moment, I revealed to them who I am, the sole child of Governess and Senator Stewart. And I also unleashed the truth that they had so desperately tried to conceal. I revealed their contemptuous behavior, their relentless campaign to undermine me and my marriage to Will. I painted a vivid picture of their encouragement for Will to stray with Mia, the very woman they had brazenly brought as his wife to the dinner. Their faces transformed, their cheeks blanched with a mixture of shock and shame. The room fell into a hushed silence, the clinking of cutlery momentarily suspended. All eyes were fixed upon the scene unfolding before them, a spectacle of revelation and redemption. With unwavering confidence, I spoke my truth, my voice echoing through the grand hall. I made it known that their wealth and societal standing did not grant them the right to belittle or marginalize me. I reminded them that true class was not measured by material possessions but by the integrity and compassion one carried within. Their insults, their attempts to break me, had only served to strengthen my resolve. In that pivotal moment, I declared my intention to maintain my dignity irrespective of their opinions. I proclaimed that their tears of regret, their remorseful cries, would forever be the taste of bitter vindication. The power dynamic had shifted, and the inescapable truth now loomed over them, stripping away their illusion of superiority. As I walked away, a renewed sense of self-worth enveloped me. Their regret served as a potent reminder that I was not defined by their acceptance or approval. I was Jessica, a woman of substance, resilience, and unwavering determination. I had risen above their prejudiced judgments and would continue to flourish in the richness of my success and self-confidence. And so, as the echoes of their regret reverberated through the restaurant, I embraced my independence, forging my path with the knowledge that I had shattered their illusions, leaving them to grapple with the consequences of their actions. Their tears would forever serve as a bittersweet testament to the power of resilience, proving that sometimes the taste of regret can be the most satisfying dish of all. I divorced my husband. It turns out that his love was not ready to fight me. I continued my philanthropic work, and there I found peace, true happiness, and genuine love with the people.